So to me, it's crazy, but in a time of warfare, there are things that you do that you have to do. One can make a poor argument against it. That you have to do to maintain the thing that we have here, right?
Yes.
In the United States.
Yes.
And well, I guess the confusing thing is that why to treat the enemy in a way is one thing, but it seems like they're treating the people where they live the same way now. 20 years after, the global crisis that was 9/11.
There is going to be a mass killing if there wasn't already, and we just don't know about it. I mean, for God's sakes, they took a Black Hawk helicopter and we're just flying a dead body around underneath it.
How does that get explained? I mean, because I guess my question is this. My question is like, considering everything that we've experienced in our lifetime so far, and then what happened over the last, it was just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not even a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it went to even shittier shit after we did our podcast.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anybody who's a reasonable headed critical thinker that was like, if we do this, then this will happen.
Well, I mean, look at what happened.
Unless it's on purpose.
Look what happened last time we left. It emboldened Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and 9/11 happened. Last time we just pulled out.
We weren't in there. That was just the Afghanis fighting the Russians.
That's what I'm saying. Now we gave them military capabilities.
And those military capabilities were loaded up onto tractor trailers and driven to Tehran.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm sure
they're driven to
China.
What's coming next is going to be 9/11 on steroids.
I mean, are we at that nexus point? Do you think that like, I don't understand how the Afghanistan withdrawal could happen unless you wanted it to happen this way.
Wait,
does that make sense?
It was so poorly executed that it's the dumbest answer is the most correct answer.
It's like the Occam's razor answer, where it's like this is the most obvious thing. But what would be the motivation for that?
Wait,
why would that happen?
I'm just a little confused. Do you guys think we should still be in Afghanistan?
That we should have a presence, yes.
I think we should eliminate evil people off this earth.
I don't think...
Are we going to be able to do that, to eliminate evil people?
We can, but the American public doesn't have the stomach for it.
We have to do it in a terrible way. I think the Afghanistan thing is like, Aja, look, if you're going to leave, if your church is moving, there's a way to do it. This isn't the way to do it. You leave all the equipment behind. No, you leave Americans behind. There's still Americans there right now. There's Americans who can't get out because they're now basically hostages.
China is taking over the military bases.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they should do? Hey, our debt's gone. See ya. Bye. Hit the restart button. Let's start building better shit.
So in 20 years, we've actually learned less. I think that's where I'm having the problem.
Could they? I don't know. I don't know much about the military. I don't know what's going on, but could they have a strategy?
You'd like to think.
Could there be such a crazy strategy
strategic
that by giving these people armaments, it then makes them less likely to deal with Russia, Iran, all these other places possibly?
No, they've already signed their Afghanistan. The Taliban has already signed a trade deal with China.
It literally seems.
And we're gonna find out tomorrow, because I guarantee you they're gonna have parades with American vehicles chanting "Death to America."
Yeah,
in Afghanistan on the 20th anniversary.
Did you see the transitional government was announced?
I saw it, yeah.
Who is it? The guy he works in the Biden administration. I don't know exactly what his role is mind boggled that there's no women in the transitional government.
How is also 4 out of 5 were the people that we traded for Bo Bergdahl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he should have been shot right there.
Isn't that insane? How does any reasonable person who's like, hey, if you were thrown into the federal government tomorrow, you'd think that's a bad idea with zero experience?
Because the participation trophy children are now in charge. That's why.
It still doesn't make sense.
It does when you think about the fact that we have raised an entire generation of pussies.
Like coddled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I don't want to harp on it, but I mean, Joe Biden couldn't muster up the energy to get through 13 American coffins coming back off a plane and having the decency to be kind to their families without checking his phone 20 times.
Yeah.
But at the funeral or the meeting of the family of George Floyd, he had no problem keeping his composure.
It's messed up.
I mean, it's all optics. You have a generation, you have a leadership now that they would rather look woke than honor American soldiers.
Now, here's a question. Do you think
It's crazy.
Do you think he had a smartwatch on, or was it like...
He's not allowed to have a smartwatch.
Oh, so there's no reason for him to be looking at his
He's got a
watch.
Seiko.
I think he's just a sleepy
What?
old man. We had this discussion the other night where I said basically all these things that he's doing, he's literally just their puppet. He's just up there for anything. So like, what if we just took the idea that this is a crazy old man and just kept checking his watch because he was nervous? Maybe he forgot to take a pill.
Yeah,
agree.
that's what I was going to say. I was going to say,
Like,
I gotta take my
And it just
blood
became this
pressure pills.
nervous tick that he just kept doing and doing because he's he's just sometimes
Which
he's
is
just not
scary.
there.
There's no excuse, though. He shouldn't have.
I mean, I think that's the thing that I wrap my head around with, where it's like if obviously he isn't the adult in the room, what's happening to the adults in the room?
Well, who is the adult in the room?
Or plural, I don't know. It just seems to me that like anyone who cares about their family, their fucking country, over the last 3 weeks, I don't care what side of the argument you're on,
Been shit
something
on.
seems crazy.
Well,
Something seems really out of whack.
Do you think he doesn't care about the military?
Who?
Joe Biden?
I think he looks at them. I think he looks at them as some CEO looks at the maintenance department.
yeah.
That's what I think.
His kid fought in the army.
Yeah, and his
right?
other kid is a drug addict and
Well,
lost 3 laptops with sensitive information on it that we don't hear about.
I don't know what his son's MOS was. MOS would be their job description. What
Bo?
his-
He was in the Air Force, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I mean, I know.
I mean,
I know he was like a military.
Do you
lawyer.
really think?
I know
Do
he
you
was
really
like a
think the
military
senator's
lawyer.
son is going to get is going to get put into harm's way?
I don't know.
What's his name? Prince Harry was an attack
Was it?
helicopter dude.
Yeah,
That was
but
badass.
they didn't let him. They let him go off to Afghanistan for a very short amount of time, and then he was brought right back. And he was actually
No,
pretty
I
pissed
thought
about
he
it.
served. I thought he served
He
for
did
a
serve.
while.
He did.
He served for a while.
No, but as soon as his unit was going to see action, yanked back.
Yeah.
Which I will say, he wanted to serve. He was the real deal.
Yeah.
He wasn't just there for the medals and this is what the family does and the royal family. He struck me as the real deal. He really wanted to serve. He was willing to go and die with his teammates.
And that's
Without
not
a
to, and that's not to say that anyone who is the daughter or son of any elected official is not brave or whatever. But if you're the commanding officer that puts, the 30-year senator's son in harm's way and he dies, you're in big trouble.